So my name is Younes van den Broek, aka Spitler. I'm a graffiti artist, muralist, make paintings in general. I'm a scenographer. I make backgrounds and costumes. I customize clothing. I'm a theater maker. I'm a performance artist. I do rap and slam poetry performance, but also teach rap and slam poetry and graffiti to youths and older people, sometimes in school, sometimes in prisons, sometimes in youth houses. Yeah, and I'm from a mixed background. So my mother is Belgian and her father is from Suriname, Paramaribo. My father is Moroccan. What are my earliest memories of Christmas? That must be looking forward to eating a dry-ass turkey that my godmother used to make. And she didn't like to cook with salt or anything like that. But well, yeah, it was about the atmosphere, I guess. I remember that it's about getting presents and giving presents and blah blah blah. And then I remember also like that was the Christmas Eve part, and then the Christmas Day that was always going to family in a very uncomfortable atmosphere, being around each other, basically, for the show. Whew, that must have been the early 90s. I'm from 1991. Yeah, probably my toddler years and after that, like, I don't know how to say, lagere school. Like, not high school, but the school before that.
Yeah, middle school.
Yeah, I guess these days, yeah. Yeah, well, I have a mixed background, also religiously. So I show up, or I try to show up on Islamic holidays, and I try to show up on Christian holidays. Or like now, I just try to show up for the people who are the most important in the time of these holidays. It used to be a thing that I did it with a lot of my relatives, but now the last few years I do it with the closest ones, like with my mother, if I have a partner, with a partner, with my grandfather. How I perceive Christmas as a child, well, very naive. I thought it was all about peace on earth and Jesus Christ being born in Bethlehem, the three kings, all these things. Then I perceived it as a time of getting presents because of the how they commercialize it and with the Santa stuff, and a time of like eating a lot of nice things like oysters and like oven happies filo with things in it, and then in the oven we call it happies, small snacks basically, but like festivity snacks, not like something you can find in the chipper or in the snack, but only around the holidays they sell these things. So yeah, I think that's the most important thing about my perception about Christmas back in the days. So yeah, I remember that it's a time of eating lots of special snacks that you don't eat the whole year through, and getting presents. So the Muslim side of the family they didn't really used to have anything with Christmas because it's not necessarily Islamic holiday, but Jesus Christ is a prophet in Islam, so it's not that it's like disrespected, but it's not celebrated by Muslims, especially. So I don't really have a view of what my family back in the day thought of Christmas, but I must say now, these years like 2024, 2023, I see Muslims with Christmas trees at homes and things like that. A few days ago, I saw a Yemeni guy singing Christmas songs in German, in Arabic, like in different languages. So I think people are participating in it more for the atmosphere and the aesthetic a little bit, and I get it because like with the little lights and the cozy atmosphere they try to build in different cities, like at Kerstmarkt, you know, Kerstmarkt? How you say it in German? Yeah, that's Kerstmarkt, things like that. For the rest, I don't really I don't really have memories of the Moroccan side of the family really doing or say anything about Christmas. I do celebrate Christmas, and I celebrate it with the closest people around me. And how I like to do it, like for me, it's not about materialism and getting presents, or not anymore, or giving presents. We do it, but that's not the main thing for me. I think the most important thing is, like, my love language is cooking, like making nice food. So I will make nice, good things, and like little bit more decadent than the rest of the year. I would make, I would go get different things like cold foods, warm foods, and in different gangen, how you say it, like courses, in different courses. Like there's the cheese, and then there's the oysters, and then there's the oven happies, the oven snacks. Then there's the main course, and then the main course will probably be like I say something deer or duck orange, something like that. You know, like seasonal meats, or maybe some fish, or maybe everything. Like I'm, if I start cooking for Christmas or something like that, then it's always overvloed. What's the word for that in English? Then it's always abundance. Abundance, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think what Christmas means and what we are celebrating are two different things. Like what it actually means, the holiday of Christmas is that we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, but now we also have Santa Claus coming from somewhere out of the ancient folklore from Europe, I think. I'm not sure from where he is. The story says that he's from Constantinople, basically, but I think this side of Europe specifically celebrates him also around Christmas, while end of the day, Christmas should be around Jesus Christ and not about Santa Claus. The interesting thing is, where I live in Belgium and in the Netherlands, we have Sinterklaas, who is actually the same guy. So we have first Sinterklaas, and then a bit later we have Santa Claus, but it's the same. And in Belgium and Netherlands, we are now getting rid of a very racist tradition involving Santa Claus. Hey, he used to have like a black servant, and Santa Claus has elves. So you see the correlation that he still has like people who work for him, but now they are elves. So I think that's actually better than our Sinterklaas version. But I would rather have Sinterklaas accompanied by some Krampuses, to be honest. That's my personal favorite. There's some other things to say about Christmas also. Like, what bothers me around it, that it's actually more of a capitalist trick to make us spend all our money on bullshit. Like, it sounds corny, but I think the most important thing about it is to be together with people who are close to you. But now the most important thing, it feels like it's the most important thing to buy like expensive shits for each other and spend a lot of money on everything around Christmas, from the decoration to the food to the presents. And the tree, yeah, also the tree, interesting fact, actually the tree has nothing to do with the Christian tradition, but is also an ancient European folklore thing. So I think the modern version of Christmas that we celebrate today is a mashup of like capitalism, ancient pre-Christian stuff, and then some Christian stuff, but mostly capitalism. Yeah, we also have the same, like, how you say, skating, schaatsbaan? No, not skiing, but ice skating. We also have like Christmas markets where you can get glühwein and backfish, spek mit bratkartoffelen, all the same stuff. You get it in Belgium also, you get it in the Netherlands also with the decorations, seeing like in little towns, lots of lights and things like that. People running around in Santa clothing, people drinking glühwein, people buying overpriced stuff at the Christmas market. So yeah, it's perceived exactly the same. It's a good excuse to get drunk on on the markets. Do I feel part of the community? Not really, but then again, it's not about the whole community for me. For me, it's about my community, and then in this specific case, I mean just the closest people around me. So I feel a part of my community, but not necessarily of the whole community who celebrates Christmas, if that makes sense. But yeah, well, I would say Muslims respect the Prophet Jesus, but it's not that it's not a thing to. I don't even know if it's halal to even celebrate it if you are a Muslim. But there's definitely respect for the holiday because it's celebrating a prophet that also Muslims celebrate in their own way. So I think that's the way that it's perceived. So not as a bad thing, but not as something that you should participate in. Now I think about it. Some people, like me, because I'm mixed between these cultures, I have to kind of participate in it. But like if you don't have any link at all with it, I can definitely understand that you would like go do something else, work, whatever, get some money because it's extra paid on these days. So yeah, I get that. But it's like I think also the Muslim community is not a homogeneous thing. It's like for everybody different. So you will have some people who will try and do some work, or you will have people who are maybe in mixed relationships and will go to Christian Christmas parties, things like that. Yeah.
So you see Christmas more like a religious thing or a cultural thing?
Well, both, because, and also none of the two, because, like I said, the capitalism thing, these days, Christmas is really more about what the capitalism and Hollywood made of it, let's say, like the whole thing about getting presents and spending money, while in the religious way of looking at Christmas is something completely different, I think. And it's not about decadence and all of these things, but like thinking of the poor and peace on earth and all of these things. But like for me, it's a bit bitter to swallow this pill, to be honest, especially these days. Like Jesus was born in a place that today would be called Israel, but would always have been Palestine, or maybe it has been called Israel at some point. But like it's not how you say it. Like the place where Jesus was born is colonized, and the people who live there, so the ancestors of Jesus Christ, are being exterminated and living in under apartheid for more than 7 decades now. So it feels for me a little bit hypocrite to be talking about peace on earth and about how how important it is to celebrate Christmas and all of these things, and sitting at home celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ while we are watching, the whole world is watching this specific region in the world being ethnically cleansed. So it feels a bit dirty in a way also, especially like this year to participate in it because it doesn't feel real, if you know what I mean. It doesn't feel oprecht. It doesn't feel sincere. It feels like we're doing it out of a mechanism because we that's what we know, that's what we do, but we don't think further about the actual question that you asked me, basically. Yeah. I think Christmas is as well a religious thing as a cultural thing also, because I guess depending on where you are in the world, you have different dishes that are served, for example, and food is like something very cultural. I think we did turkeys probably because we saw it from the Americans or something. But the glühwein, for example, is something around this part of Europe that always comes back around Christmas. The cookies with herbs in it, all of these things, the cheeses, like. But then again, if you would go somewhere else in the world that's not Europe, they will probably have totally different dishes, and dishes are really representatives of cultures. Yeah. Just as it's none of the business of my Christian or like Belgian Surinamese family that I do holidays from Islamic holidays, it's also not the business of that family if I celebrate these holidays, because end of the day, yeah, it's my life, it's my business, and it's my perspective. I'm a mixed person, so I'm in these two worlds, and I respect the two traditions that comes with that, let's say, and I participate the two of them. My grandmother from my Muslim side has the right to see me on the special days, and my like people who I care about on the other side of the family have the right to be with me and see me on these days and celebrate it together. So yeah, I don't care actually what people think of me celebrating any of these holidays because it's a part of my identity. Yeah. And the people from Morocco, I don't even think that they know these things. I don't even think that everybody knows that I exist. Some people really absolutely do, but like my family is so big that I haven't met some of these people also. So, but end of the day, I think because it's a Christian holiday, that it's also kind of respected because, like I said before, it's the celebration of one of the prophets. So I guess they would think it's weird probably, because I'm also like from their Muslim family, but they wouldn't look down upon it, I think. But then again, that's a speculation, so I couldn't say that in their place. Mixing holidays, I'm not sure actually. Like, what would be the meerwaarde? What would be the added value of it? Like, it's also nice. I can go in there. Why would I? Why would I?